Yeah, listen. Uh, we fucked up.
So let's take a look back at the disastrous Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Honestly, whoever came up with that title, I hope you stub your big toe on your kid's Lego playset because that is the most stupidest title I've ever heard in my life. Even Chris Terrio did an interview, said, yeah, that title, I don't know who came up with that title, but that's certainly not what I would have come up with. And I wish Chris Terrio would have come up with a better title because, yeah, it's just right from that moment, you knew, yeah, this movie's going to be in trouble. And before the Snyder cultists get angry at me, it's like, what are you talking about? Batman v Superman was super successful. Everyone loved Batman v Superman. The critics loved Batman v Superman. The general audiences loved Batman v Superman. The fanboys loved Batman v Superman. Okay, but once you take the bread pill and come out of the dream world, which you obviously are living in right now, I'll let you wait to come back to reality and let you know why BVS was the catalyst to what we have now, a failed, miserable, mediocre DCEU that was also in part the Snyderverse. Black Adam, The Flash, Birds of Shit, the theatrical cut of Justice League. What are the mediocre shit that came out? It was just, disaster. BVS was the catalyst to what we have now, the failure of the DCEU. It all started with BVS and it ended with BVS. Man of Steel 2 should have been the proper sequel to Henry Cavill Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, not BVS. BVS is not a Man of Steel sequel. BVS is a Batman origins film that stars Ben Affleck's Batman. That's what it is. It completely sidelined Henry Cavill's Superman, and it set up Justice League, Aquaman, Cyborg, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Darkseid, Flashpoints. They're doing all this setting up for future plans and not even setting up your own main protagonist in Henry Cavill's Clark Kent Superman. Make that make sense. Henry Cavill legitimately got screwed, and I have no doubt that he was so pissed behind the scenes because he's like, what is going on? I thought we were doing a Superman trilogy. And Warner Brothers, Zack Snyder, they wanted to compete with Marvel. They wanted to compete with the success of the MCU, which was a mistake from day one because don't worry about what the MCU is doing. Worry about your own cinematic universe. Why are you trying to compete with Marvel? Don't do it. Don't worry about it. Do your own shit. We are here not to watch Wakanda Forever. We are here to watch Henry Cavill's Superman. We're not here and we don't want to see Ben Affleck's Batman when we just had an epic, successful Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. We just had Christopher Nolan bring back Batman from the dead after 1997's disaster Batman and Robin. Christopher Nolan rescued that Batman franchise and made 3 great films. No matter what you say about Dark Knight Rises, at the end of the day, when you take in everything overall, the Dark Knight trilogy is a masterclass. It is a masterpiece. It is a Batman franchise that is chef's kiss. So why didn't you do that with Superman? You should have done that with Superman.
Nigga, what? Man, this nigga got me fucked up. That's for real, nigga.
Not only did you undercut Henry Cavill, not only did you undercut your own character, Superman, but in doing so, in trying to catch up with Marvel, and trying to catch up with the MCU, and with Kevin Feige, and trying to build your own cinematic universe that was completely rushed, and the general audience did not have any faith in it. The critics certainly did not like your take. The fan base was split with Zack Snyder's take on the DCEU, so it already was damaged goods before it even started. Not to mention the whole introduction of Jared Leto's Joker with the Cholo Joker as your first introduction, as your first image. Here it is, Cholo Joker. I was like, dude, it was just, I think it was DOA before it was even arrived. It was DOA before it arrived. Especially when you're trying to compete with Heath Ledger's Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker is iconic. You're never gonna beat that. And I hats off to David Ayer for trying to do something different with the Suicide Squad and trying to do something different with Jared Leto's Joker. But obviously, it just did not resonate at all. At all. Again, too many cooks in the kitchen. The plan was just too ambitious, and you just should have just started nice and slow with Henry Cavill's Superman. Why the rush? I don't understand trying to rush your cinematic universe. Take your time with these characters. These characters are iconic for a reason. And you didn't have any faith in Henry Cavill's Superman. That's why you shoehorned in Batman. Because you saw the, I guess, lukewarm success for Man of Steel, and Warner Brothers, Zack Snyder panicked, and they decided to throw in Batman because they thought, well, Superman, Batman, obviously that's going to be $1 billion franchise, and it wasn't. It wasn't. That's what killed BVS. The critical reception, the audience reception, and the fact that it didn't even crack $1 billion with two of the most iconic superheroes of all time. That's just a disaster. That's a disaster. And now, cut to now, where you have Jay Oliver talking about, oh, we have plans for Flashpoint. We have plans for Reverse Flash. We had plans for a quadrilogy with Zack Snyder's Justice League. First of all, you just had that Zack Snyder full circle jerk event where Zack Snyder said nothing about it. And here you have Jay Oliver talking more insights and explaining what was going to happen with Zack Snyder's DCU than Zack Snyder did at his own fucking fan event. How, does that make any sense? Does that make sense? The reboot was needed. The reboot is necessary. James Gunn, hopefully, is the guy to just throw everything out in the trash, take in everything new, and just start fresh. And that's why the reboot is here. But hey, maybe Zack Snyder just can return.